Good evening. It's a late edition of The Alive for Myself. It is 9:43 p.m. and here in Mount Vernon, Washington. Tonight's subject is on bullying. There's all kinds of bullies. They come in all shapes and sizes, but mostly in children. Children are innocent, and when they bully, it's usually for power. Their sandbox, their room, their toy, their dolly, that is mine, or I want yours. This is an important part of my world, and I want it, and I want you out of it. Out. The bully. Why does the bully happen? We often wonder, well, wasn't he born the bad seed? Not necessarily. Sometimes his parents are the bad seeds who planted the seed, the bully. Well, schools now have as the LGBTs. Is that what they are? Actually, they're the gay support clubs for children who are gay. They're wonderful. Did you know that 53% of kids admit hurtful things to one another online? Whether they're being bullied at school, they're getting bad grades, they're getting beat at home, not being fed, parents are getting divorced, or they're gay. That person in front of you on that screen that you're Skyping with, that everything has just suddenly come out and you've barfed into the world, is now keeping everything that you hold true to your heart and has promised you that they're going to keep everything about you true to their heart and never tell anybody. A week later, you suddenly get into a horrible fight. Fights aren't like they used to be when I was a child. I was born in 1958. And in that year, we went from Thumbelina and Tiny Tears to Barbie with stiff legs. I think she had a little striped swimsuit on, black and white, and little black puffy hair, to Betsy Wetsy, on up now to dolls that can do flips, tuck, and change themselves and do the cooking. Okay, I'm exaggerating. But the point is that children now carry around with devices that are far more complicated than I ever thought doing ever in my entire life. They have phones that are small computers. They can text their parents no matter where they're at. They have a technical life, electronic, and they text each other all the time. The teachers say no phones at school. They have their little mini computers with them, and they're texting as they're studying or ignoring whatever they're doing. They're texting, and some of the texts that they're going through is, I'm going to kill you, you're a fag, you're gay, you're a fag. Some kids have actually committed suicide because of this. Bullying. Or, I'm going to tell everybody that you're pregnant if you don't sleep with my brother, or you have slept with my brother, and I didn't want you to sleep with my brother, and now you're pregnant, aren't you? And the poor girl just sits there going, I'm not pregnant, I didn't sleep with your brother, I don't know where this came from. And she's not old enough to handle it in her brain. And embarrassed to go to her mother for fear that her mother or her father or her grandmother is going to actually blame her for something that she has not done. Bullying. Going through somebody's yard and kicking up the leaves and leaving dog feces where that other kid can walk through it. Taking their bike, stealing their things. Leaving hate messages on their phone or on their computer, or at school, on their desk, or by their locker. Bullying. Emailing them, telling them horrible, horrible things, or having your friends gang up on them. bothering them, harassing them, bullying. Children commit suicide. People don't believe that children are capable of suicide, but they are. They become very depressed fast, and they're quiet because they don't think this happens to anybody else. Gay children believe that they're all alone, that they have committed the greatest crime ever, especially if they come from a religious background. They're scared. They're scared of burning in hell. They're scared that they are going to hell. And then when they go outside, they look around. They really are very terrified. They've been told all their lives, really, how bad that is. And now at school, they're being tormented for it. And some kids have either been tortured, murdered, or they commit suicide. They just go nuts. Schools are getting better at this, too, as far as getting in there, helping, doing the best they can, for trying to circumvent everything that's going to that child's way, trying to get these kids over here to stop, trying to get in touch with their parents and saying, what the heck is going on? How do we educate parents to stop and think about what they say at that kitchen table or in that living room to their children? Is it their true gut belief system that they feel they have to teach their own kids on how to hate someone that is different? I once talked to this one mother that said, but they are not different. A black man's different. A Hispanic man's different. But a gay person is evil. They're just not human. They shouldn't be here. Really? Well, a black man and a Hispanic man has a chance going to heaven. But I don't want my child playing with that gay person over there because the work of the devil. From my understanding, they were born that way. And from my understanding, I don't know even if I should waste my breath on people like that, because you're not going to change their minds. I'm not going to debate with I think that's a human being. I'm not going to debate with somebody like that. So here we go back to bullying. See, I got all tied up in just that thought of that one woman. And this is what the person who's getting bullied goes through. The process of what was said. I mean, I just went through the whole process of what was said. I'm wasting my time on that thought. So, this series is going to be on bullying. We start with the children, and we're going to move up through adults. We're going to start with the schools. We're going to go into texting on phones, into the rooms on the internet, small little places on the internet close to YouTube. But do they allow children? If not, we're going to go into the adult problems of torture and picking on the weaker ones, and the name calling that goes on, and the terrible depression that happens when you're not accepted into some places. And does it happen? And we're going to explore this stuff and talk about it and really understand bullying and ganging up on people. Children do it all the time, but they're children, and it's up to us as adults to work through it with our children and make sure it doesn't happen. So in the next few weeks, we're going to be experiencing and exploring these different emotions and what happens in the other room. And I will be talking and seeing you tomorrow about other things, because we're just going to be exploring this gradually because there's a lot to study. Thank you. This has been the Alive for Myself. Have a very pleasant evening, and tomorrow is Saturday. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.